Hello, and welcome back to Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast. My name is Emma, and I'm your host. And today I have both the dogs with me, and I'm back in the guest room, as you can see. I am doing laundry today, so all my laundry is out in the living room because it dries a lot better there. So instead of having like big racks of clothing as a background, I thought it was better to be here where it's a little bit more calm. I'm back at home in Norway after 2 weeks of vacation in Sweden, celebrating the holidays and New Year's and stuff. And then when I came back 2 weeks ago, I really had a tough week. My first week at work, but now it's calming down a lot because at my work, like the month of December is really busy, and then when you come back the first week of January, a lot of products need to be delivered to the patients. So I had not so much time for anything, and I was really exhausted when I got home from work. So therefore I didn't podcast last weekend. But this week has been a lot better. So now I can record and I have a lot of things to talk about. So hopefully I can entertain you for a little while. Hope you have some nice knitting or crocheting or something that you do. You can find me on Ravelry as Chubby Pug Yarn, and I also have a Ravelry group for this podcast, so it's Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast. And also you can find me on Instagram as Distortion. I will put the spelling here, so you can find me there. Please add me as a friend, and follow me on Instagram. Add me as a friend on Ravelry. Join the group. You can use the hashtag Chubby Pug Yarn Podcast, and so I can see what you're doing while watching me. I would really like that. So just comment or tag me or something. I would really like it. So maybe I should go on to my knitting. I have finished quite a lot of things, but unfortunately I don't have the stuff here, so I will have to insert pictures of the knitting. So when I went away for a vacation, I casted on a pair of fingerless mittens. I think you call it, the pattern are called Loch Lomond or something. Kendra Hope is the designer, so I link all the patterns in my show notes. I knitted a pair in Manos del Uruguay silk blend. So I knitted them on 2.25mm needles. They were really squishy and nice, and I really liked the pattern. So I will insert a picture here probably. I hope that the cuddling of my dogs doesn't sound too much. They are snuggling and washing ears on each other. But anyway, I knitted those for my grandmother because she have asked me to knit her a pair of fingerless gloves or mittens because she have some problem with her joints, and therefore when she's sewing and stuff, she would need to have something to get a little bit more warm around her wrists, and so I could give them to her when I went home for Christmas. So she was really happy about it, and that always makes me happy. The next thing that I knitted was the plain grandpa sweater. I talked about it last episode, the episode I did before Christmas. It's a pattern from Pickles, I will insert a picture here. And I knitted it in Pickles Merino Tweed on 4.5mm needles. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures on the sweater with the recipient, which is my cousin, who is a baby. She has been quite cold in this cold weather, so she really enjoyed her pretty sweater. I found a really nice button that matched the pinkish tweed yarn. So my aunt was really happy to get it, and also Agnes, my cousin, even though she doesn't speak yet, so she is just bouncing around being cute. And since when I came home to Sweden, it was about -20 degrees outside, so really cold. The dog, especially Alphonse, the pug, really didn't. Yeah, I have a computer crash. Yeah, the pug really didn't want to go outside at all, and so little Agnes was quite cold. So my aunt asked if I could make a really warm hat for her. So when I came home to Norway, I did a quick search in my stash and found some scraps of Abuelita Merino worsted. So I knitted a pattern from Pickles called Lille Luring. And I will insert a picture of Alphonse in the cute hat, and also on Frank sleeping with the mittens on him. Since I didn't have anyone to try it on, I can do so much about it. I went to the postal office yesterday and sent them to her, so now she can be warm for the rest of the winter. And the last finished object for now that I'm really pleased about is my Pomatomus socks. Yay! I made it. I brought them on my Christmas vacation, so I have been knitting on them for New Year's and on my train rides and stuff. So when I came home to Norway, I just finished them up. So now my friend at work, Charlotte, have received them, or actually the package is on her office. So, but when she sees this, if she watches, she have received them. Since it's Sunday today, I don't know if I said it, but it's Sunday, the 18th of January. Oh, kisses, pug kisses, yay! So the Pomatomus socks is the pretty blue socks with like fish scales on them. The pattern is designed by Cookie A, and I knitted them on 2.5mm needles. I tried the socks on my foot, but they were a little bit too tight, which is good because Charlotte has a little bit smaller feet than I do, so they will fit perfectly on her. I knitted it in modes of colors, sock base, in the colorway Geiranger, which is a fjord here in Norway. I probably told you about it. So yeah, lots of finished projects, no one to show. My dogs are really cuddly today. I don't know. We have been out on a walk, so they have been out playing in the snow, but now they want to cuddle. Usually they sleep by now, but this will work out. So, works in progress is my next. I'm feeling like you will be getting a little bit sick of tired of this, but I'm still knitting on the Rock the Lobster. So now it's quite long. The last time I tried it, it was up here, so it's almost like 10 centimeters. Not chewing the yarn. So we're doing some modifications. I have been doing some shaping for the waist and doing some increases for the hips. So we're going to make it like halfway down the thigh. So it's going to be a much longer sweater than the regular pattern does. But I'm almost finished with the body. Luckily, she's smaller than me, so this goes a lot quicker. This is for another co-worker of mine called Monica. And I think the colors will be really, really gorgeous on her. She has this beautiful dark red hair. So it will be beautiful with this sweater. So that's the next thing I need to prioritize, so I can make it finished. Oh, I need to save my knitting from the dogs. They are helping me, keeping the things in order. So the next thing that I have on my needles is actually something that I had as a knitting desire a couple of weeks ago. So I talked about a hat from Gudrun Johnston called Norby. So this has been my work knitting. It's knitted on 3mm needles, and I'm using Gynx Yarns in Glitsock. So it's some sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. And the colorway is called Goth Girl. So I have knitted all the repeats of the pattern up to the top. So now I'm going to do like the crown shaping, I think it's called. And I have tried it on. And as you can see, it fits. No problem. Oh, you want belly wobs? Yes. He's a really cuddly puppy. So yeah, I have the hat Norby as my work knitting, because I often have like 10 to 15 minutes every day after I have eaten my lunch, that I just sit and relax, and I find it a lot more easier to like disconnect from work while I'm at work. So instead of just sitting at the computer waiting for the time for my lunch to end, I find it easier to do something that I enjoy, and so I can be a little bit more productive during that time. So it's giving results. Oh, soon I will have a good hat. Actually, it's too cold to have it outside now, but I'm thinking later in the winter and early spring I can use the hat a lot. And purple is a good color for me, so it's an easy match. Yeah, and the last thing I'm knitting on, let's see where it is. My dogs are laying all over. Here it is. I got some mail, which I will talk about more later, but I'm knitting a vanilla sock from the toe up, and I'm planning to do an afterthought heel. So this is the beautiful colorway Franken Somebody from Desert Vista Dye Works. So I knitted quite a lot on it. It's a quick knit, and I like it. I will talk a little bit more about it when I talk about in my mail section. So on the spinning part, I have finished the alpaca single that I talked about last time. So here it is. It's a little bit thick and thin, but this is my practice spinning on the wheel. So I'm learning to know the wheel and learn to know how to spin, because I am really a newbie on this. So I'm planning to do a second one and then try to apply them together and see how it turns out. But actually I'm also spinning on my drop spindle. So I have some gorgeous fiber here. So this is tease water in a gorgeous purple colorway. And let's see, the color name is Shimmering Purple, and it's from a Swedish dyer called Mandusana. So it's 100 grams. And I can show you the label. So this is her label. Try to hold it straight. So she has an Etsy shop for it. And now my dog dropped my spindle. So this is how much I have been doing so far. I'm trying to chain ply it as I spin. So I do a long single, and then I do like a loop and chain ply it. So it goes a lot slower, and especially since this is the first time for me, but I'm really enjoying it. So I will definitely try to spin more. Now it's only the puppy left here. So that's all for spinning. Slow process, but I think I don't need to stress about it, just enjoy it. And I usually talk about knitting desires, and I have 2 desires this week. So the first is, I think it's called frummed mittens. I will insert a picture here. And the reason why I found this was because Danny, who is Little Bobbins, and she has a podcast. I follow her on Instagram, and she posted a picture of her frummed mittens, and they were so cute. I really got, my mind started going, oh, which fiber could I use, and I got really excited about it. So that's one of my knitting desires. You're not allowed to chew on it. And the second thing that is a knitting desire, or actually it's a crochet desire, is a scrappy sock blanket with granny squares. And the reason why I got this idea was because I have been chatting on Instagram with Disa, who has the podcast Disa's Craftwork, and also is Disa's Craftwork on Instagram, and Emilia, who is Emil Carve 1963 on Instagram. They have been trying to convince me to start a granny square sock scrap blanket, since they're both doing that, and I'm really intrigued. The problem is I haven't knitted so many socks, so I don't have so much sock yarn, and I already have one granny square blanket that I haven't finished. I have been crocheting on it for 2 years. It's like one giant square, but I think if I knit more socks, I could probably do that. So we will see if I will have it as a work in progress for next week, or how it will be. Oh my gosh, such a cutie. So yeah, that's my knitting desires. And then I usually talk about knitted garments. And except for my huge shawl that I have been talking about quite much, I haven't been wearing so much knitted things. So I will talk about something that is one of my more weird knits. I'm not sure if I have mentioned it before, but when Shumailin, Maja, found out that she knew me from before she podcast, since I lived in Jönköping before, she remembered that when we had like knitting meetings out in the park, I was knitting on a pair of medieval pants, or shorts, maybe I should say. She remembered that when she connected who I was, and I promised I would show them sometime, but the knitting hasn't been in our house. But now my boyfriend have brought them home, so now I can show them. Now they have been used, so they're not as bright as they were when I knitted them. But this is the shorts. The stuffing is more yellow in real life to turn out really pale here, but it's I don't know if it's silk, maybe. They have like this silk that is supposed to be like popping out everywhere, so they need to be fixed. But the knitting is on, I think I knitted this on 2mm needles. So this is the back side and the front. And in medieval times, you didn't have like buttoning, but you had what they call a codpiece. So I didn't knit one, so this is one is in silk pattern that you tie with 2 knots, and this is the pants. Totally crazy. And they're actually, I took the inspiration from a pair of shorts that looked like this. So the color and the lace patterning I improvised, and the knitted squares, they are from a real pair of shorts from the medieval times. So they are in a museum, and they have like pictures online. I can link to it if someone is interested. My boyfriend do some like reenactment and stuff, so he dresses in medieval soldier clothing, and asked me if I could knit a pair of shorts for him and show the picture, and I saw an opportunity to try something new, so I improvised it. It was a lot of threads to weave in, but the result is good, even though it looks crazy. So this will be instead of my knitted garment of the week. Now the dog has fallen asleep. I really hope that he isn't snoring too loud. Otherwise I will have to try to make some edits later on. Yeah, and since it has been Christmas and Christmas sales, and I have had a little bit of an ordering bonanza again. Happens quite a lot. I need more time so I can knit all the stuff I buy. But I ordered something quite a while ago, but since I was afraid that it wouldn't be shipped here to Norway in time, I ordered it to my family in Sweden. Since when I order things from the States, it can take like fast things like can take a week. I'm really impressed, but usually it takes like 4 to 5 weeks. So since I ordered in the end of November and the beginning of December, I ordered things to my parents' house instead. Just to be sure, so they wouldn't be sent to Norway and then they sent it back after 2 weeks, and since I was going away for 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks, I didn't want to risk it. So when I got home to my parents' house, this beautiful bag was waiting for me. Yay! So this is bags by Terry. So Terry is the one who is making these gorgeous bags, and you can really see why it's necessary to have one of these with cute mustaches. And it has a cute red polka dot lining and some pockets. And as soon as I got home to Norway, my boyfriend took it. So he has his sewing project. He hand sews some new clothing for his medieval reenactment group, because they are going to have like a big thing. I don't know, not meeting, but this big event in early summer. So he needs a new jacket and new pants. So he stole my beautiful bag and has his sewing in it. So hopefully I will get it back when it's done, but for now he has the stash bag. And since he usually have a mustache and beard, he can use it. I think it's okay. And then I showed you my Desert Vista Dye Works, the sock that I'm knitting, Frank and somebody. Desert Vista Dye Works, she had a sale in early November or late November, early December. She had a sale and I ordered 3 skeins of yarn, and this was one of the quick shipments because she shipped it in the 5th of November. No, 5th of January. Confused by the dates. I write the wrong year. Still at work, I write like the date and year at least 6 times a day, and I still write 2014. But she sent this to me in the 5th of January, and I got it in this week. So I casted on the Frank and Somebody socks, and then this is one of the other ones called Color Accents Wine. So it's sparkle, as you can see, and gray and black and some dark wine, red, purplish color, and some pop of color. Oops. With green and brown and red, pinkish, and some neutral or something. So this is called Mint Cocoa Quilt. I'm really looking forward to knit some more socks, but I will probably talk a little bit more about that later. I also got some Gynx Yarns. So this is a Christmas colorway, a Christmas inspired colorway. It's called Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. I caked it up and have started knitting on it. So that's awesome. I actually haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas as a child or anything, but me and my boyfriend saw it this autumn. He said, "Oh, haven't you seen it? You must see it. It will be perfect for you." And he was right. So when I watched Gynx Yarns podcast, Dyer's Notebook, she showed and talked about this, and that she would have some pre-order spots, since most of the people in the States, when they have like the release for all the yarn, it's like 2, 3, 4 in the night for me. So since I'm working and even in the weekends I sleep that time, it's really hard to like put an alarm to go up and order yarn. But when they have pre-order slots, it's often easier for me to get one. So I rushed in and I got myself one skein. So this is on the strong sock base she has. So it's blue purplish Sally skin color, black and white for Jack, I think, and some brown for Sally's hair, possibly. So that's coming up quite good as well. And I got my last fiber bump because I had like a 3-month club with loop. So this has been rubbed up a little bit, but here it is. So let's see, I don't remember totally what it is. The colorway is called Night Hike, and it's merino, bamboo, tussa silk, and angelina, and it's blues and greens, and it's really gorgeous. This is really my colors, so I will enjoy spinning it. I don't know which of the bumps I will try first, since I have 4, 3 from the club and 1 that I have ordered separately. I am afraid that I will ruin the yarn or something, since I'm so new to spinning. So yeah, I'm not sure, but we will see what I will do about it. But it's gorgeous and it's so soft, and I really can't decide which of them I want to spin first. But I want to be. Sometimes I feel I want to be better at it before I do it, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, and then to my last section, personal stuff, but it's still knitting related this time. They have this new thing here in my town that I thought would be a fun thing for you to hear about, since I don't know so many people here yet, and especially I don't have a connection with knitters. They have a knitting group at the local yarn store, but they are quite much older than me, so they talk about grandchildren and their traditional knitting things, and sometimes I can feel like when I'm talking about stuff like Ravelry and knitting in English and that kind of things, we are not on the same plane, really. I enjoy going when I have time for it, but I feel like it would be nice to have some connection with other knitters more close to my age, so we can have more things to relate about. And then I heard a coworker of mine heard on the radio that they were trying to have what they will call in Norwegian Strikkekino, which means knitting cinema. So there is I checked it up online. He told me, oh, you like knitting as you're knitting every lunch. Maybe this will be for you. So I checked it up online, and it's 3 girls who have decided to make a collaboration with the local cinema. So they will have 3 movies this until Easter. So one in January, one in February, one in March. That they will show a movie and have like the cinema appropriate for knitting and for knitters. So one show they will have like a bit more lights and subtitles wasn't going to be needed since they're going to show films in English or Norwegian. So you can knit since you have light and place for your pattern and good sound and languages which is you can understand. So and hopefully it will be a lot of knitters going. So the first movie will be this coming Wednesday. So I'm really looking forward to it. The movie is called Staying Alive. So it's a comedy, even though the title sounds like more like action for me. But it's a comedy, and I think it's Norwegian, but it's all in English probably. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully next week I can give you like a I know tell you about it, how it was, if it was nice or not. Hopefully I will meet a lot of more knitters that have movies as an interest. And it was even talks about having like knitting, going to a cafe and knit after the movie, so we can talk about knitting and movie and stuff. So it's a try for me to get like connection with more knitters out there, more locally. But since I started this podcast, I really enjoy the connection I get with new people out there. You, and you. Uh, People who are chatting with me on Instagram and stuff. So please do that. I think it's really nice. I don't feel that I'm alone in knitting in the same way when I have all of you wonderful people out there who is knitting and inspiring me, and that I may inspire some a little bit too. So yeah, and some for the last on my personal stuff. I know that many people do New Year's resolutions, and for myself, I have a rough time with like making definitive things, rules for myself that I need to keep for a year. So I'm thinking about it more like what I want to do for myself to feel better. The last year has been kind of rough with my health. Nothing serious, so don't worry. But it's taken a lot of my energy from me, and that affects all parts of life really. So I'm not going to say that I'm going to exercise this many times a week, or I'm going to only eat healthy stuff. Because if I'm excluding all the other things, I will start cheating, and then it's no use. So for me personally, I want to feel better, feel healthier. So I'm going to as much as I can to prioritize myself, not do stuff when I don't want to, don't feel a need to do more than I actually have energy for. I I really practiced a lot last year to say no to stuff, and it's not so easy. I feel like I don't want to let people down, so I do everything I can to make to fulfill promises, even though I maybe will feel worse for myself. So I have been more open the last year, and I will definitely have this year too. I want to be honest with why I'm not participating in stuff, why I need to say no. Uh, it isn't that big of a deal actually. But if someone asks me, "Oh, do you want to hang out with us? We're going to the pub on Friday," and I really feel, oh, I rather stay home in my bed knitting because I don't feel good. I don't have the energy. It's not a big deal to say no, thank you. Next time I probably will come, but today I can't. And it's a big thing to learn, but I'm doing the best I can. So prioritizing myself and my health will be like the lead word for 2015. I don't going to make any promises. I'm just going to have a lead word to prioritize myself. And when it comes to my knitting, I also want to prioritize myself. Now I knit a lot of sweaters for friends of mine, and I don't mind that at all. And I'm going to knit the rest of Monica's sweater and the sweater for Eli, another co-worker. I showed the yarn in like episode 2 or 3 maybe, for a Skappelgenser. I'm going to knit that too because it's patterns that I enjoy, but I also want to prioritize myself, and therefore I want to knit a lot more socks this year. I have ordered quite a lot of sock yarn last summer and autumn, so I have a lot of sock stash, like 9 skeins or something, and I'm hoping to knit socks for myself. So if you have any sock patterns you really like, please tag me or send me a message on Ravelry, because I really like to explore sock knitting more, try new techniques and different designers and stuff. So if you have any tips, please send me a message. And when prioritizing myself, I also want to explore other crafts more. I do knit and crochet, but I want to learn more new stuff. I really enjoy like to practice spinning, to find these aha moments, and feel that you're evolving. And I want to try more sewing, maybe quilting. That would be nice. And yeah, sewing, quilting, and yeah. Oh, I have forgotten. Weaving is one of the things I want to try a little bit in 2015, because I totally forgot this. My head isn't with me today. During December, Spinnvilt, which is like the store that have spinning materials and spinning wheels quite close to me, in Lillehammer, an hour away. They had this online competition during December, where you every day had to answer a question to participate in prize drawings. So there was a little prize every day. And the 23rd of December and 24th, they had like big prizes. So I won a Knitters Loom from Ashford. I haven't made all the parts assembled yet, but I won it. So this was waiting on me in my mail when I came home from Sweden. So weaving is going to be one of my weaving is going to be one of my try other crafts for this year. So we'll see how many of these things I will do. I'm not making any promises. I need to remember that. So you can remember me when I'm like stressing up and want to do more. Just tell me you made no promises, you made lead words. I think that's the way to go for me. So if you want, you can please share with me in the Ravelry group or on the YouTube channel. Do you have any New Year's resolutions, or do you have any lead words? Maybe you want to prioritize yourself or try new crafts, or maybe you want to knit sweaters. I don't know. So please tell me. I will hopefully get this edited and online quite soon. I have told you before that I have some problems with uploading. It takes a lot of time, so I can't upload when me and my boyfriend are playing like online games on the computers, because the speed is going really slow then, so I need to upload it during the nights, or after my boyfriend goes to sleep. He stays up quite late, so he helps me put it on, and then I turn it off when I come home. So it takes often 2 days for me to upload it to YouTube, but I'm working on getting it better, and I will hopefully figure out how to get my podcast to iTunes. I will really try to read how to do it, so maybe you can see me even on iTunes. I will inform you when I have succeeded. So this will be all for this week. I hope you all have had a really nice Christmas and holidays, New Year's, and that your January so far have been kind to you. Take care of yourself, prioritize you because you're worth it, and hopefully I will see you next week. Message me if you want to. I will be glad. Take care. Bye.